So I say, Swayman? You mean the Great Wall of Anchorage?
And how much of your date night did you spend talking about Jeremy Swayman?
Only like 45 minutes or so.
Sounds like your girlfriend's very happy.
Yeah, she's a deeply unsatisfied woman.
Now, as much as I like talking about the intricacies of you neglecting your relationships, is there a reason you called me in here?
Oh, right. No, there was a reason. You can't pull a Tampa and hide Stone on the long-term injured reserve and bring him back for the playoffs. Can't do it.
I'm not.
Yeah, but you are.
Okay, but I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Still not.
Yeah, but you are.
Look, even if I was, you couldn't prove it.
Here's the thing. I'm telling you this so that you can prove it.
What do you mean?
I mean, you should prove it. Release medical records. Something.
Why would I do that?
Look, I hate you, but I don't want any scandals happening this season.
What are you talking about?
I hung out with Oilers local today. The name Tanya Harding came up 4 or 5 times.
Maybe I should release some medical records.
And maybe beef up security.
And beef up security.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team, that is a dub! Another dub. I know we're coming off of a not dub, but you know what? I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. It's just been dubs all the way through. I am pumped. I love beating Vegas. Last time we played, we didn't get to. This team is insufferable. I was absolutely, and probably still am, when they first came into the league, usually with expansion teams, I am all about them. I am your number one fan because A, you're not a threat, and B, you're fun and new and now cool to like. I'm so edgy and weird. Vegas, right out of the gate, did everything to make me dislike them. Am I a old school boy when it comes to hockey? Not really. But the cheesy bullshit that they do, there's some really fun stuff they do. But the obnoxious amount of crap that they put into the pregame show, that they put into the intermission stuff, the graphics everywhere, it is awful. 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 And nothing about this game changed my mind about that. I love beating that team because I think I actually hate the franchise. Like, you know how I hate the Habs? We all do. Fuck the Habs. But I respect that as a great rivalry. There's a certain amount of respect. I don't have any respect for Vegas. I don't have any respect for Vegas. Screw them. There's no part of me as a Vegas fan. It takes a very specific scenario for me to be rooting for that team. Screw them. They had Salt Bay. He literally up there, Salt Bay doing the thing. They had Salt Bay doing their horn, tugging their horn before the game. I like to think that's the reason they lost because I don't know if you've seen anything about Salt Bay since he became famous. Guy's kind of a huge asshole. But then again, it's not like I've researched this. This is just from little, oh wow, here's a headline that I probably shouldn't believe because the modern world just lies about everything all the time. But I'm just going to believe it. Guy's an asshole. And he's in Vegas pulling their horn. So yeah, I'm going to believe it. Salt Bay. Come on. Someone make me famous just for existing, I guess. I don't know. What does that guy do? He's a chef? I bet his steaks suck. I want to try one, but I bet his steaks suck. What are we talking about right now? Vegas. Hate them. 5-4-1 in their last 10. I believe on the broadcast they said they hadn't won, or they'd only won 2 of their last 7 or something like that. Going through a rough patch. Eichel has returned. Jack Eichel. Do you remember when he demanded a trade out of Buffalo and all that shit was happening and there was the health and the surgery and all that? That was this season. That happened this year. He got traded and had the surgery, and he's now back. That was this year. Feels like it's been a while. He looks great, honestly. Little lazy, little lackadaisically in the defensive zone at times. But I'm actually kind of happy for him specifically because a neck surgery is really scary as a human being. and that's your career you're staring down if that goes wrong. So really happy that he's, doing this thing out there. Happy we beat him. But he returned, and things have not gone well for them. Leonard, I don't know when he returned. I thought he was out with injury for a little while, but he's back. He had a tough little game. I thought it really wasn't his fault at all. I thought he played really well for the most part. This game could have been worse. It also could have been a lot closer if the young stud in the net on our end didn't play like an absolute animal. He turned in a lackluster 944 save percentage. Bro, dude, pal, we are blessed. We're just blessed. We're blessed. Mark Stone also out for the Vegas Golden Knights. He came down with back injury. He has had back injuries in the past. He's had back problems in the past. I do not think in any way, shape, or form that they're making up that he has a back injury. The timing was a little weird. Alec Martinez is also out, by the way. The timing is a little weird. And with a back injury, you can kind of keep him out as long as you want to. But I do believe he has a back injury. It's just, we're all a little cautiously skeptical of all that. And we should be. But he's out for the foreseeable future. I'm not saying I'd rather have Mark Stone than Jack Eichel. Not saying that. But if you talk about a guy right now who would help this team more when you take into account chemistry and just knowing their systems, presence in the room, I think we'll all always, for their entire career, will go to Mark Stone. It's Mark Stone. He's an absolute animal. And he's just a great guy to have in the locker room from all reports that I've seen. I think they really miss Stone. Not surprising. I don't think Jack Eichel fills that void. It's also really early for him. A lot of chemistry issues. They still have a lot to work out. I'm just kind of rambling about Vegas right now because it's a really interesting position they're in. They're going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. It would be a tremendous failure if they didn't. They're going to have a couple guys come back suddenly healthy. They'll do some shuffling if they have to. If things, and I wouldn't be surprised if division rivals started sending the league's attention their way, if it starts to look like Stone should be ready to go, and no one knows what's happening in-house, but if we're going to play this game with this loophole, other teams need to react and send the league's eyes, investigations, things like that. Again, I don't think that's what's happening right now. I think if 2 weeks before the playoffs, suddenly Mark Stone is healthy, we can all really go, all right. We'll see. We'll see with that nonsense. Like I said, Leonard is back. Everything about this team so far has been meh. Middle of the road. Not really sure what you are, but everyone keeps talking about just wait till they're healthy. Just wait till they're healthy. Just wait till they're healthy. We have seen cup contenders for years sit there on the just wait until they're healthy. Just with that asterisk on their team and never make a real run. Now, of course, Vegas has made a couple runs-ish. They're the one big one. But I wonder if this is one of those teams that we're just going to always talk about how, man, I wonder what they would have looked like if. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Thank you to everyone who has joined the Discord. It's linked below. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing with that. I want to say I'm going to be more vocal in the Discord as time goes on. It's just right now it's hard to balance with the late night games and work. I just haven't been... It's just not very conducive to this. But when the games are at a more normal time, I'll try to jump in the voice chats more, and I'll just be more present. I am planning on doing some live streaming of me during games. Obviously, I can't broadcast the games. I will be on a massive delay if I do this. I think that's a good thing so that I'm not spoiling it for anybody. But everyone else is going to kind of have to deal with me being like way late, which could be kind of fun, where you get to see it, digest it, and then look at me and be like, what is this guy about to do? You'll probably all be disappointed. I'll probably just be sitting there like a statue, like a boring man. But it's fine. The last time we played Vegas, they scored 3 in the first, including a goal with 1 second left, and we never recovered in the game. I think that game ended 4-1, something around there. It was not a pretty game from us. They were stifling defensively. I thought they played really stifling hockey this game as well. This was a competitive playoff atmosphere kind of game. Swayman gets a start for us. He was incredible. God, Oh my god, I wish I could just bottle up Swayman essence and just ingest it. I don't even know what I mean by that, but I want it. I want it. Once again, no line changes, although there would be some blender action during the game. We'll get to that. I want to point something out. I was wrong. Last video, I think it was last video, I stated that the 11, 13, 12 line, the Trent Frederick, the Charlie Coyle, and the Craig Smith line was a 2-week mirage. It was 2 weeks of these guys looking really good, but were they really all that good? And I was looking at the analytics numbers, and even in this game, you're looking at some of the advanced analytics, and they're not creating more than they're allowing against them, and all that. There are some times when advanced analytics, like 2 weeks into a season, I will look at advanced analytics for goaltenders and be like, what if one of these goalies is just dealing with some horrible puck luck in a 2-week sample size, like Olmark to start the season? There are moments where I don't buy into all the analytics. This line, for some reason, is just working. They had a little bit of a dip for a couple games and then shooting right back up. Normally, I would put this kind of thing in game notes at the end, but I know not everyone watches to the very end of the video. I gotta point out that I think this is early again, I guess, in a weird sense, to say that I was wrong, but I don't know, man. Like, they keep just bouncing back and having these big moments, and they affect the game in many, many ways. I might have been too quick. If anything, I was too quick to say they're not legit. That's obvious. It was too quick to say that. Now, if we get back there and we actually see it for a while and they really plateau, then I'll be like, okay, all right. So they just kind of jump up and down, have good games, have bad games. Easily, it was too early to say that. If it's a third line where they have good games and bad games, I can live with that too, because they're a third line. The bottom six, though, having a line that can pot a couple goals, that's going to come in big come playoff time. I'm just saying. And they've been doing it against good teams. I'm just saying. Last thing before we talk about this game. The national broadcast immediately brought up the suspension for Marchand as soon as it started. It was immediate because, they need their narratives. And I was like, all right, that's fucking lazy, but whatever. And then the pregame show in the arena was louder than the guys talking, which was obnoxious. Salt Bae came on and was doing his thing. I don't remember, and maybe I was just getting ready for the game and bouncing around. I don't remember the broadcast showing the national anthem. And maybe that's just me. And I'm not like a, where's my national anthem kind of guy. But like, if you're going to do Salt Bae, like do the national anthem, right? I don't know. That's like a weird complaint. And maybe they did, and I just completely missed it because I was running around. So just correct me if I'm wrong down there. Again, I'm not like a, where's my national anthem? But I just felt it was weird that they highlighted that and then didn't do it. In case, maybe I was getting a drink. Who knows what happens there. That broadcast was awful. It was horrendous. And I'm going to bring it up a couple times. I'm going to try not to. It was horrible. Messier and Chelios were in the booth, and they were atrocious. And they're brilliant hockey players. But they suck at color commentating. I mean, it is bad. Look, I don't want to toot my own horn. I could have done a better job than that. And I don't watch Vegas like all that much. I could have jumped in with 10 minutes notice and done a better job of what they did. And they know hockey, I mean, way more than me. I can't touch 1% of what they know about the National Hockey League. I can't even get close to that. None of us can. They know everything about the league, right? Everything about the intricacies of how it works, about how the game's played. They are brilliant. But when it comes to talking on a camera, holy shit. That was bad. That was bad. Brilliant hockey players. Brilliant hockey minds. Can't speak it. Don't get it, but they can't do it. That was awful and should not be tried again until they get a lot more practice. Oh boy. Was that too critical? Felt too critical. Felt like that was being mean. Felt like I'm really just picking on him at this point. Oh well, puck drops! And immediately, playoff atmosphere. Hard checking. And they did mention this, and I thought it was a good point, so I'm going to give a little credit right after I roasted the broadcasting team. I think it was Messier who said, the way that the Stars are taking the body in this game is impressive. And I agreed with him very much in this. From puck drop, even the guys who are more known for their dangles and their sniperoonies and cheeses, even those guys were taking the body. And that was scary but good to see, because these teams clearly wanted to win against each other. That being said, we start the game by Messier saying that Hall plays center for the Boston Bruins. So that was a doozy. He later apologized in the second period, which I don't know if that made it better or worse, honestly. But he did apologize in the second period to Bruins fans. He must have seen the outrage on Twitter over that comment. And I was part of the outrage. I find it funny when Twitter is a space where it seems like everyone's livid, like super angry. But when I typed out that whole thing about, like, did that just happen? I wasn't angry. I was more just like, what are we doing? Like, do a little research before the game. Like, what are we actually doing? It's an unforgiving world to be on camera. I mean, I've seen it. I've gotten messages where it's an unforgiving world to put your public opinion out there. National TV, it's a tough job. It's a tough job. Awful take to start. He then calls Hall, I think. I don't even know what happened here. It's gonna be a long night for Mock. It's gonna be a long night for Mock. 6:40 in, DeBrusk gets a breakaway, and this is so bad as a decision-making process that it actually might make Dangles dang-its. I think that's what he calls them, right? The dang-its. DeBrusk gets a breakaway, looks over his shoulder, sees Marchand behind. I think when the puck got to him, he picks up speed too quickly, gets right in front of Leonard, and realizes, shit, I might not have enough space or time to do anything here. Which I'd be surprised if that was his thought process. But he decides to drop pass to Marchand, who's coming in behind him on the left side. Leonard reads it the whole way. Defenseman breaks up the drop pass. No shot is taken on a breakaway. Bro, you have been scoring in buckets, and you're telling me on a breakaway you opted for a drop pass? I'm going to criticize that till I'm blue in my face, till the day I die. You can't do that. I want to offer some forgiveness because maybe you saw something or realized that you didn't actually have the chance you thought you had, and you tried to make a quick decision. But damn, man. Just get the puck on net. If you're really that worried about it, just aim low and get a rebound for Marshy. I don't get it. I do not get that decision making. I really don't. That's a tough look. Slashing on the play, though, we are going to go to the power play. We do pretty quickly give up a 2-on-2 the other way. Nothing comes of that, and then as we're moving the puck up, Hall ends up attempting a tip pass that just leaves the puck in the slot. Vegas picks it up, opts to pass there, ruining their own chance. Vegas really could have capitalized on this, shorthanded. We allowed a lot of shorthanded chances. We really do, and I hate it so much. 6:42 left in the period. I'm nervous. I think we've been the better team so far, but I'm nervous. It just feels like Vegas can crack open a game, right? But Smith forces a turnover in the neutral zone. I'm so glad he gets rewarded for this because Smith has been playing so tremendously lately, and it's just not scoring goals. But he's been doing so much right, which is what you want from a third liner. Do a lot of the things, the little things right. The goals will come, especially when you're a trigger man like Smith. So he creates forces a turnover in the neutral zone. Puck gets fed up to Frederick, who's going down the left wall. Smith is coming in behind in the middle of the slot, but he's a trailer. It's a 3-on-2, so he's going to have space. Freddie with a perfect feed, tape to tape. Don't overcomplicate this. And Smith just beats Leonard from the high slot, blocker side, mid-blocker side. That is a gorgeous 1-0 goal, scoring from a little bit of distance, beating the goalie. It didn't have to be a messy goal. I love seeing these just as much as I love seeing messy goals. Don't listen to any of my past videos that say I love messy goals more than anything because it shows the grit of the team. Fuck that. This was a gorgeous shot. Great play by Freddie. Coyle didn't really have to get involved, but good job by Coyle being there too. Game stays intense for the last 6 minutes of the period. Sway comes up huge a couple times, but the period's going to end 1-0. 2 30 into the second period, tripping on Hala. Vegas, 2 of their last 31 on the power play. I believe that's a stat they said. 2 of their last 31. That means they're due, but not right now. Swayman with a super speed, cross the crease, blocker save to save an absolute, guaranteed goal. Riley Smith, ex-Bruin, I liked him, but absolutely robbed by Swayman with the blocker. Right then and there, you're a period and 4 minutes in, and you go, oh, Swayman might be on one tonight. Because we always think that, because he's always on one. This kid's an animal. I want to see where his stats land him with this game boosting his numbers even a little more. And I think his goals allowed average is actually going down, or I guess up, the worst option, because he allowed 2, and on the season right now it's a 1.95. But save percentage wise, I think he's in the top 3 at this point for save percentage in the National Hockey League as a rookie. I know goaltending's hot and cold, and I know nothing's guaranteed, but so far, so good, right? Right? As the penalty expires, Freddie with a strip creates a 2-on-1. Huge save by Leonard on Freddie. It's a nice shot with purpose. Gets out, but nothing really comes of it. This is such... I want to point out the Freddie stuff that's happening that's not just the assists. He had such a good game, that whole line. Oh, I'm so glad to have some bottom 6 lines that are doing things. You guys all feel me on that, I'm sure. 9 minutes in. This is an awkward one. Grizz, heads up play. He's in the neutral zone on their blue line, right? He's about to cross this line, but he sees that 2 Bruins players are over the blue line, getting on the bench. They don't realize right away that they're being waited on, so this takes a couple seconds, and then they leap up as soon as their skates get off the ice. Grizz takes the zone, ends up dumping it around the boards. This is a smart play, because he does not want to be offsides. That second period switch, you can get offsides during line changes. They're really with that, but you know that would have been called. So they flick the puck down. McNabb gets tripped up. They went back to talk about this too, because they were it was abhorrent that this goal was allowed because McNabb was tripped. That should have been called. That's not fair. The refs swallowed their whistles this game. And we were not the only beneficiaries. Yeah, that play led to a goal, and I understand as a Vegas fan being upset. But as a Vegas fan, you can't tell me that there weren't a lot of calls that just did not get called this game. Refs really swallowed them for some reason. But McNabb goes down. There's a scrum behind the net. Puck gets punched out, and Vegas never recovers. Ends up on Coyle's stick on that left dot. He feeds it to Smith, who's just waiting over there, and Smith is going to fling this over Leonard. 2-0. And all of a sudden, Smith is not only on Hattie watch, he's on natural Hattie watch. Not too bad. 6:15 left in the period. Swayman, it's Theodore with a absolute slot chance. No one's around him. He's going to get the shot off. And Swayman comes out 8 feet from the net and just attacks all angles in this. Makes a huge save, and it even gets deflected. He still makes the save. This kid, man. Swayman. Ah. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this kid. I'm just pumped. I'm a little tired. You can kind of tell. I'm a little loopy right now, but fucking Swayman. This kid is the future. Oh, I desperately hope this is a goaltending we get from him for 15 years. I just want that. I want that. I deserve that. You deserve that. Too long has Boston been without a star goaltender. Too long. What's it been? 6 months? Something like that? Too long. And with 5 minutes left in the period, we're up 2-0. 5 minutes left in the second. And Bruce blends the defensive pairings. I was confused by this at first. Forbort gets tossed up with McAvoy. Riley gets dropped down to work with Carlo. And Grizz goes all the way to the third to work with Cliffy. This was a decision that I thought was odd. I went over... there's a couple different analytics sites that I use. Money Puck's my favorite. But I jump over to Money Puck, and I see that, at least analytically, we're getting crushed defensively. Like, most of the pairings are getting crushed as far as chances and expected goals and all these things. Now, I don't think Bruce is behind there on Money Puck looking at these stats going, oh, it's time to switch him up. But I think I was kind of blinded by the lead, whereas, I mean, they were playing us really well, and they had their chances, and Sway was just stoning them. So maybe I was just buying too much into what the game looked like, and at ice level, Bruce was seeing stuff that he just went, we're not going to win this game at this rate if this continues. So he swapped them up. So good on you, Bruce. It worked out in the end. Unfortunately, 3 minutes after you do that, it's a brutal, brutal mistake. McAvoy has the puck at the left point of the offensive zone, and he passes across the blue line with way too much heat. No one can get the puck. Just skitters off at an angle into the neutral zone. Unfortunately, Howla, I believe it's Howla, is there in the middle of the blue line. He looks back as if he's going to go get that puck. But there should have been another defenseman back there. So Howla doesn't get on his horse right away. Eichel does. And the defenseman was Grizz, who was going for a line change and did not realize the puck was 5 feet behind him. And so he's just skating off. No one catches up to Eichel. Guy is fast as super fast. And it is the fastest hands, man. He chops the puck into 19 pieces and then goes to shoot and whiffs on it. But it's a dead puck that just slides through Swayman, who got completely frozen by Eichel's moves. And you can't even be mad at Sway because it's a terrible defensive play by us. It's a bad line change. It's a breakaway from a superstar who has hands out of this world, and he handcuffed you. He just froze you on the spot. You're a rookie goalie going against that at the NHL level, and then it slides through? I'm not blaming you for dick. Good effort. Still got a piece of it, gets under the pads, and that's a goal. 2-1. I'm worried. I'm nervous at this point because those massive mental mistakes have been coming around this season, and we've really struggled at times to recover from them. But the following shift, we bring it right to them. Vegas was still playing their game. Don't get me wrong. But there was some good tenacity there in the last couple minutes of the second. You want to get more nervous? 2 minutes into the third. Vegas, crossbar it out. Ooh, they're buzzing. They're running around us. And Nosa goes for tripping. They're going to get a power play, basically to start the third period. 2 minutes in a one-goal game. And our penalty kill has been okay. It's been okay, right? 10th in the league, great. I haven't loved what I've seen from them over the past couple weeks. Doesn't matter. Kill it. Surgically. Beautiful. Swayman's our best penalty killer in this game, but still, kill it. And it's a huge chance for Marchand, 6:30 in, just a couple minutes after that kill. Good bounce. Basically gets a breakaway. Gets absolutely stoned by Leonard. It looks like he has him beat. He goes around him, and that leg just kicks out and barely gets a piece. It's going to stay 2-1. And then Howla, just a minute later, just can't catch a break. Howla had a ton of these this game. And we're going to point out a play he had that was very good, and he maybe got rewarded for it. I actually haven't looked at the box score. But he has a chance. It's brilliant passing. And it leads to basically Leonard down, who had made a huge save on Pasta. Leonard down. Puck gets moved around. And Howla gets it on the doorstep with an open net, and it's a bobbling puck. And he shoots it right through the crease. No goal. That moment, if we hadn't scored 30 seconds later, spoiler alert, I would have just been having a heart attack until something happened for us. 12 minutes left of the game. Howla is going to have a perfect tape-to-tape pass from the right wall of the neutral zone, whips it to Freddie, who collects. They're taking the offensive zone, punches it forward to Pasta, who little move on Leonard, basically gets behind the defense, little move, goes 5-hole, gets stoned, but on the second whap at it, because it's just sitting right in front of the 5-hole, smacks at it, slides through. That's 3-1, and Messier is immediately questioning, wondering out loud if they're going to challenge that. Because Freddie came in after and took a smack at Leonard's legs, basically hitting his legs to force anything through. Puck had already gone in the net. There was that kind of stuff where he was openly, and he didn't hide this, let's not act like he did. He was openly rooting for Vegas to win this game. Openly. When Vegas didn't score at close chances, he would literally go, oh. Everything with Vegas was, well, unfortunately they couldn't this. Hopefully they can do this. He was literally rooting for the guy, the team, throughout the whole game. And that kind of shit eventually really annoys you when you're listening to a commentator hope your team loses. I get it. That's why people don't like to listen to Jack if they're watching for the opposing team. But a true neutral for a national broadcast wouldn't be the worst thing, wouldn't it? It's 3-1. 5:41 left, and Smitty does it. His third career hat trick. Good for the kid. It's a hell of a shift. Marchand with a big scoring chance basically gets stoned, but basically gets Leonard down. Puck gets cycled back up and around, moves to Smith, who's just sitting there, stick high. He's on that left dot, asking for it. Puck gets sent to him, and this is a great short side shot that Leonard's just trying to catch up to, finally back on his feet, does this weird like spin around to try to get over there, beats him. 4-1, ball game. But they pull their goalie with just about 5 minutes left of the game. And of course there's a goal. But not an empty net goal. It's on us. It's 6-on-5. There's not really that much we can do here. They set up. Marchessault just takes the right wall. He's got Forbort in front of him. He kind of uses Forbort as a screen. There's another screen in front of Swayman. This is a great short side shot. That's 4-2. Still 2.5, 3 minutes left of the game. They pull their goalie again. I'm not nervous, but I'm a little nervous until 140 left. We do it. Puck gets bounced out to Pasta. He has a full breakaway on an empty net. Makes no mistakes. 5-2. That's your ball game right there. That's a 5-2. It's not an ass kicking because Vegas is in this game. And if it weren't for Swayman's incredible goaltending, this is a 5-4 finish. I still think we win it. Hell of an effort all around. All players top to bottom. Game notes. 3 assists for Freddie. Got to give him some respect here. And he did a lot more than pass that puck. Took the body well. Very, very responsible defensively. Had a strong neutral zone game in this one. He was very present in the open ice, which I thought was a huge improvement for him. Really like what we were getting out of him. Smith, of course, gets your hat trick. You love to see that. No complaints there. He deserved it. He's been doing so much so well throughout the past couple weeks, except for scoring. I'm glad he got a game like this because he really did deserve it. The bottom six is looking decent. I still want more out of that fourth line. I want them to have more of an identity. But the bottom six is contributing. Maybe not every single game, but they're the bottom six. That's not really their job. But if they were contributing every other game, I'm feeling really good about this team's chances, guys. We had that bad loss to the Islanders. And ever since then, we've either been crushing teams or really in some good games. This team has turned a corner. And we're looking like an actual hard out in the playoffs at this point. Quick shout out, Forbort looked really good in this game for the most part. He had some tough assignments and moments, and I thought he did a good job. Carlo has woken up. This was a great game by him. I know last game we talked about him still making some mistakes, not taking the body when he should. But for the most part, the past week and a half, he's been improving game to game, and this was a really good game for him, I thought. 5th 30-goal season for David Pastrnak. That's pretty crazy. And he has a real chance at 40 for this one. This team is getting real fun to watch, guys. Alright, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I mentioned earlier, I started a Discord. Thank you to everyone who joined. I'm still working the kinks out. There's a couple mods in there now. Thank you guys for the help that you're giving me, because I don't really know how to run a Discord, but they jumped in. They have all the rights to do whatever they want. They're going to end up just making a kick-ass Discord and kicking me out at some point, probably. Good for them. They deserve it. But seriously, I appreciate all the support. If you want to jump into the Discord, it's linked below. I think that's a permanent invite link that I'm posting. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, no, just jump in. It's some good hockey talk. I'm going to be a lot more vocal, as I mentioned again. I'm going to be a lot more vocal coming up, but these late night games are just not conducive to being able to do that. In the meantime, go Bees!